The moment two of President Putin's Tu-95 nuclear bombers are blown up in a Ukrainian drone attack on a high-security Russian airbase. Now, two of Vladimir Putin's Tu-95 nuke bombers were reportedly blown up in a suspected Ukrainian drone attack at a high-security Russian airbase. Now, shocking footage shows a huge flash at the Engels airbase in the Saratov region of Russia after the apparent early morning strike. The two Tu-95s, known as Bears, were reportedly destroyed in the explosion. The bombers have been used to blast targets in Ukraine with non-nuclear weapons, particularly in recent weeks as Putin continues to blitz the country's infrastructure. Now, 14 Tu-95s reportedly took off from Engels later on Monday in what appeared to be a strategic move to relocate the aircraft out of range of further drone strikes. A report from Rydvatka warned Moscow could be under attack if the strike came from Ukraine. Now, it said if the drone came from Ukraine, then our enemy already has the technology with a range of 1,000 kilometers, which means that Moscow could be under attack. And there is only one conclusion. Counterterrorism measures on the territory of the Russian Federation should be strengthened to the maximum, and retaliation strikes should be continued tenfold until the Russian response has a massive effect. Such attacks will continue. So, Rick, now we're seeing developments on Russian soil, if these reports are accurate.
Yes, they're accurate. The Russian media has confirmed the attack. I saw this very early this morning, Doc, when it was just breaking news coming out of Russia. And, you know, there's several really important things in this story. Number one, the attack happened 150 miles from Moscow.
Yes.
Which means Ukraine was able to get a drone that close to the capital city of Russia. And they took out two nuclear bombers. So think about if at a U.S. airbase this morning, two B-52s were blown up.
Right.
It'd be a big story in America right now. The next thing is who made the drone?
Yes.
Who manufactured the drone? Who gave the drone to Ukraine? Because that nation is going to be labeled as a party to a direct attack on a Russian nuclear military asset. And then number three, what's going to be the Russian response? We after the Crimean bridge was attacked, and then the pipeline blown up, Russia began a very aggressive attack on Ukrainian utility structures, electric utility, water, sewage, and so forth. They've put most of Ukraine in the dark. I would have to think that there's going to be a ferocious response from Russia this week.
I would agree. So it would have to be.
It will have to be ferocious because this is now a direct attack on the soil of Russia, 150 miles from the capital city, striking nuclear bombers. We're really close to an all-out nuclear war. And I don't know how to emphasize it any stronger, but this is an alarming development. The Nazis in Ukraine that are running this war are driving the world to an Armageddon event. And we have madmen in the West that are just egging them on and giving them the weapons and the money and the encouragement, telling them to keep striking Russia. This is total madness, Doc.
You know,
and everybody should be on alert spiritually and physically.
You know, we occasionally test our B-2 and B-52 bombers with live nuclear missiles to make sure that we can do it. I'm sure the Russians do that as well. What if these TUs had been armed with nuclear warheads, Rick? What kind of story would we be talking about today?
Oh my gosh, we'd be talking about a nuclear explosion 150 miles from Moscow.
Right. I mean, that's the kind of scenario that really starts a full-blown World War III.